Welcome, esteemed viewers. Today, we shatter the biggest Hollywood illusion of ancient Rome. You have long believed these legendary fighters were just worthless captives, cast into tragic ruin. We picture brutal rulers pointing thumbs down, forcing poor souls to perish for empty amusement. Let us think logically for a moment. Who would throw away a massive fortune on a single fight? The arena was no chamber of demise, but a highly calculated, massive golden industry. For decades, cinema painted a vivid picture of the iconic Colosseum in our minds. We see a dusty arena filled with terrified screams of starving prisoners and forgotten slaves. These cinematic victims hold rusty swords, pushed into the glaring sun to face their certain doom. High above the dust sits the arrogant emperor, draped in purple silk and heavily dripping with gold. With a single cruel gesture of his mighty hand, he decides the ultimate fate of the fallen men. The thumbs down signal has become the universal symbol for total defeat in popular modern culture. We are led to believe that every single match ended with a devastating final finishing blow. The surrounding eager mob of Roman citizens screams relentlessly for more devastating triumphs. They are shown as mindless savages, demanding sacrifices to satisfy their twisted desires. In this modern fantasy, the fighter's given life has zero value to the mighty ancient empire. They exist just to fall, easily replaced by the next large batch of unfortunate captive prisoners. Look closely at how movies show their bodies, often frail, trembling, and completely unprotected. They wear cheap leather straps and ragged loincloths that offer no real defense against a sharp blade. Every weapon strike is meant to shatter heavy shields and deliver absolute maximum visual shock. If human life was truly so very cheap, how could this grand spectacle sustain itself financially? The Roman Empire was built on bold engineering, high efficiency, and cold economic logic. Does it make any rational sense to waste great resources just to stain the grand arena floor? Records from ancient scribes tell a vastly different and far more fascinating historical tale. True gladiatorial games were governed by strict laws, organized guilds, and massive financial wealth. To understand the reality, we must leave the cheering crowds and descend into the dark underworld. Beneath the Colosseum floor lies the Hypogeum, a complex network of dark and hidden tunnels. The real story begins further away, inside the heavy stone walls of the private training schools. These schools, called a Ludus, were essentially maximum security prisons mixed with sports camps. Here, men were transformed from ordinary captives into highly specialized entertainment machines. It took months of harsh physical conditioning and weapons training to create a decent fighter. Trainers employed veteran soldiers and master swordsmen to pass down their deadly combat techniques. They practiced with heavy wooden swords, building epic stamina and perfect muscle memory. This rigorous preparation was not designed to send them to a quick and meaningless, tragic end. It was designed to produce an elite, premium product that could be sold to the highest bidder. The powerful school owners, the Lanistas, were cunning businessmen with a sharp eye for profits. They treated their best fighters like rare, prize-winning stallions, guarding their rich investments closely. One elite gladiator could generate enough gold to feed a Roman neighborhood for a year. Letting them fall on their very first day of work would be an absolute financial catastrophe. Step into the office of a wealthy lanista, surrounded by stacks of wax accounting tablets. Every single armor piece, food ration, and training hour was carefully documented right here. A fully equipped fighter needed a custom helmet, heavy bronze greaves, and specialized arm guards. The legendary Secutor helmet cost a fortune, crafted by the finest imperial smiths. Why would an investor spend massive sums on defense gear if the ultimate goal was instant ruin? Armor was specifically built to protect vital organs while leaving non-lethal zones exposed. The true goal of a match was a spectacular display of martial skill, not a quick, boring finish. If a sponsor hosted games, and many noble warriors fell, he had to pay a huge replacement fee. This extreme exit tax made eliminating a bold fighter an incredibly unpopular, costly choice. Politicians wanted to entertain the masses cheaply, so they greatly preferred non-lethal ends. In fact, ancient historical data suggests that 9 out of 10 gladiators survived their matches. Even the defeated were allowed to walk away alive if they had fought with enough true bravery. Look at the scarred veteran sitting quietly in the shadows, his massive muscles gleaming with oil. He is not a starving captive. He is a heavyweight champion, fed on a strict ancient diet. The Romans commonly referred to these professional brawlers as horderii, or the Barley Men. They consumed massive amounts of heavy carbohydrates, beans and grains to build a thick layer of fat. This subcutaneous fat acted as a natural shield against the slicing blades of their opponents. A shallow slash across the chest would flow dramatically for the massive crowd, but leave the muscle safe. The spectacle of crimson satisfied the wild audience, while the fighter lived to perform another day. Knowing this truth, do you still view them as truly helpless victims, or as calculating pro-athletes? Behind the scenes, the Ludus functioned like a modern sports franchise, with highly premium medical staff. The absolute finest ancient world physicians were permanently employed to keep the merchandise intact. The great Galen of Pergamum, a brilliant medical mind, began his career treating these famous warriors. His detailed writings provide absolute proof of the exceptional care these mighty warriors received. He described complex surgical procedures designed to stitch deep wounds and stop deadly infections. These doctors used surgical tools made of high-quality bronze that closely rival modern instruments. Their knowledge of human anatomy was unparalleled, gained from years of healing major combat wounds. If a bone was fractured in the grand arena, it was expertly set and bound tightly with wooden splints. The recovery process included soothing massages, physical therapy, and warm herbal baths. This level of premium healthcare was truly unavailable to the average Roman citizen. A poor, free peasant dying in the streets could only dream of the medicine given to a Ludus slave. The vast investment in their survival proves that their lives held immense economic value to Rome. Now, let us return to the glaring sun of the grand arena to witness how a real ancient match played out. Modern science has shattered many old myths by uncovering the physical remains of these ancient fighters. In Ephesus, researchers discovered a massive gladiator graveyard containing thousands of bones. Analyzing these bones revealed perfectly healed fractures requiring advanced medical knowledge. Their bone density was incredibly high, fully confirming their intense daily training regime. We also found trace minerals in the bones that perfectly match the legendary barley and ash diet. The most compelling evidence of a regulated sport lies in the strict rules governing combat. Step onto the burning sand and look very closely at the man standing between the two fierce armored fighters. He is the famous Summa Rudis, the referee, dressed in a crisp white tunic with a bright-colored border. He carries a long wooden staff, ready to aggressively separate fighters if a rule is broken. He guarantees a truly fair fight, instantly stopping the match if a weapon breaks or a man loses his shield. This strict referee is often an honorable retired fighter, knowing every trick in the book. These epic matches were not chaotic brawls. They were highly technical duels, with very strict martial codes. Fighters were carefully paired against specific opponent types to ensure maximum drama. A highly nimble net fighter would always face a heavily armored swordsman for perfect combat balance. When a brave fighter was exhausted or wounded, he did not simply wait for a devastating finish. He had the legal right to request an honorable surrender, known as the sacred Missio. The defeated ancient warrior would quickly drop his heavy shield and raise two tired fingers into the air. The referee instantly jumped between the two fierce combatants with his wooden staff to swiftly halt the strike. At this absolutely crucial moment, the final fate of the kneeling man was handed to the roaring crowd. If he had fought bravely and truly entertained them well, they would demand his immediate release. The mighty emperor, or the wealthy sponsor of the games, almost always followed the wishes of the people. Ending a beloved veteran who had fought a spectacular match was truly terrible politics. The crowd appreciated true skill and immense endurance, far more than a cheap and messy, tragic end. A gladiator who survived many fierce battles became an incredibly valuable living legend. If an opponent struck down a fighter illegally, he would face severe punishment or complete ruin. Accidental losses certainly happened, but they were considered tragic occupational hazards. Just like modern extreme sports, the risk of serious injury or tragic demise was always present. However, the fundamental structure of the industry was built around keeping the stars alive. The historical truth paints a portrait of disciplined athletes rather than truly helpless victims. Imagine the immense pride and dignity of a fighter who earned his survival through sheer skill. Even in defeat, a brave warrior would kneel proudly and accept the mercy of the great roaring crowd. This structured system ensured a continuous supply of highly trained combat professionals. It allowed the brutal spectacle to thrive as a massive, self-sustaining economic engine. Now we step into the golden light of the new reality, where fighters were absolute icons. Forget the image of broken slaves. These men were the absolute, undisputed rock stars of ancient Rome. Victorious champions commanded the pure adoration of massive crowds, numbering in thousands. They proudly walked through the grand streets like living gods, surrounded by obsessive fans and followers. Just like our modern athletes, their faces and names were carved onto walls and popular merchandise. Children played with clay action figures modeled directly after their favorite local heroes. Roman women were infatuated with these dangerous men, viewing them as pure symbols of strength. Sweat scraped from a champion's body was actually collected, bottled, and sold as a perfume. Wealthy noblewomen would pay massive prices for this bizarre and highly coveted cosmetic. This immense celebrity status completely shatters the tragic Hollywood victim narrative. Fighters even signed lucrative endorsement deals, promoting local businesses and famous products. A legendary fighter could be paid to endorse a local olive oil or a wealthy grand tavern. Their immense popularity was a powerful tool used by leaders to control the massive public. Backing a victorious champion was the fastest way to gain votes and massive political power. The lanista, watching from his private balcony, smiled as his investments multiplied in value. Every strike of the sword and every drop of sweat generated massive profits for his great business. For the fighters themselves, the arena offered a rare and dangerous path to ultimate freedom. A successful gladiator could earn enough prize money to finally purchase his own liberty. At retirement, they received the rudiari, a wooden sword symbolizing their total freedom. Many chose to stay in the lucrative industry, becoming highly paid trainers or strict referees. They transformed from oppressed captives into wealthy and respected members of Roman society. It was a brutal life, undoubtedly, but one offering glorious rewards for the truly skilled. Free citizens willingly sold themselves into the Ludus just to chase this incredible fame. They chose the arena's danger over a miserable life of extreme poverty and hunger. This fact alone proves that being a gladiator was not entirely a cursed, tragic punishment. It was truly the ancient equivalent of pro-combat sports, driven by massive wealth and global fame. The next time you watch a historical epic, look past the cinematic dust and dramatic ends. See the highly trained athletes executing complex martial arts under strict professional rules. Acknowledge the massive economic machine that carefully managed every strike of the blade. The reality of the Roman arena is far more fascinating than any simple fictional tale. It was a world where sweat was money, survival was business, and mighty warriors were true superstars. They fiercely fought for glory, they fought for survival, and they fought to entertain a mighty empire. Their legacy is not one of pure victimhood, but of incredible resilience and martial pride. These fighters were valuable superstars, not victims. But here is the ultimate question for you. Would you rather be a poor, free peasant starving in the streets, or a bold gladiator risking your life? Please leave your deep thoughts in the comments below. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel today.